Why does buying something, even something that we want, feel so uncomfortable? If you're a creative business owner, you've probably already felt this from both sides, as a buyer or even as someone who's setting your own prices. In this episode, I'm going to go through 3 psychological experiments that help understand why we feel pain, how we can bundle things together, and also how decoy pricing works. Pricing isn't just about numbers, it's about the emotion. And that usually starts in the brain. So let's go to part 1, the pain we feel when we make a payment. Because the studies show that we do feel this pain for real. So researchers, they put people into an fMRI scanner and show them products with prices. Can you guess what happened? Well, when they saw a price that felt too high, their brain lit up in the same place it does when they feel pain, which means the brain is registering literal pain. If you're curious, the section of the brain, I think it was called the insula. So this is why paying hurts, especially with cash. This is why people have card payment machines. It's easier because you're not taking out the actual physical cash and paying with it. I don't know if you're like me, but I use Apple Pay and I'm just like bing, bing, bing. I don't even feel the pain because I'm not even using a card anymore. I don't use a wallet. So I'm not taking the wallet out. I'm not being reminded of the fact that there used to be cash in it. I'm not even taking out the card, which I know is connected to my cards. Now I use my phone. This means I feel less pain. I don't know about you, but I'm guessing that you also feel less pain, and suddenly before you know it, you've maxed out your credit card. So what does that mean for you? If you want to sell more with less resistance, we need to reduce the emotional friction. So one of the ways you can do this is to spread out the cost. You can delay the payment. You can make it feel lighter by simply saying you can pay it in 3. Maybe you can make it in 2 installments. That would lessen the pain because the higher value that you're having to part with isn't there. Let's move on to another pricing example where the decoy effect works really in a superior way. Dan Ariely ran a famous pricing experiment with The Economist. There were 3 options: the web-only subscription, the print-only subscription, and a print and web subscription. Now, the way that this was priced was that the web-only subscription was, for example, $59. And the print-only subscription was, let's say, $125. The print plus web subscription was also $125. So when all of the 3 were shown, most people, they picked option number 3. Wouldn't you? That makes sense, right? Like, wow, I get the web for free. That's the way my mind would work. But when the middle one, which was a print-only option, when that was removed, far few people picked the combo, the 3rd option. Why? Well, the middle option was a decoy. It made the 3rd look like a steal. This is smart pricing design. Is it manipulation? I don't think so. It simply is helping the brain simplify the decision-making for the buyers. Perhaps it is manipulation. This could be debate. Put it in the comments. If you want to guide the buyer to a higher value offer, include a decoy that clarifies what's worth it. So in a way, you are manipulating us to think a certain thing is higher, or are you clarifying it? This is why there's a slight debate on whether it's manipulation or not. If I can help clarify how much more valuable it is to get print and web over web using a decoy, is that manipulation or is that clarification? It's up for you to decide. Bundling is the 3rd way we can do some pricing strategies. It can be a blessing or a mess, and it really depends on how you use it or optimize it. Bundling kind of works best when the items clearly work together. So if you think course and a workbook, they pair very well together, or a website and an SEO setup. If someone only values one part of the bundle, they'll mentally subtract the rest, and it makes the whole thing feel less worth it. Also, people like choice. So if the one thing isn't valuable enough for them, the bundle doesn't become valuable at all. Mixed bundling, where you offer the items solo or bundled, usually performs better than bundled only deals. So if you're bundling, lead with value, not just the price saving. But why it makes more sense to buy them together. So you have to be really clear on that. Think about how you're pricing. Which methodology works best for you? There are obviously psychological strategies that you can implement just like these, but it's best to understand first that yes, pricing does hurt, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't soften the pain. So I would like you to reflect today. How does your pricing make people feel? And how do you want it to make them feel? Is your pricing doing the emotional heavy lifting or creating some form of emotional resistance? That's it for today. If you're rethinking your packages or offers right now, start with how they feel. That's where the shift begins. Thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed this, I have other videos on pricing, and I would very much like to hear from you on what you want me to create more videos on. Put it in the comments and I shall oblige if it aligns.